In 1986, a local fisherman named Dan was fishing off the coast of Cape Cod, Massachusetts, a beach known for its serene beauty, but also for a series of unexplained disappearances. One stormy evening, as Dan was preparing to pack up, he saw a woman struggling in the water, seemingly trying to swim toward the shore. Concerned, he immediately rowed his boat out to help her. But as he approached, he was horrified to see the woman vanish beneath the waves, her form disappearing into the dark water with no trace left behind. He dove in, searching desperately, but found no sign of the woman. As Dan returned to shore, the locals told him the horrifying tale of a young woman who drowned at the same beach 40 years earlier. Since then, many people reported seeing a phantom swimmer in the water, forever attempting to reach the shore, only to vanish into the ocean. Dan never returned to that beach, convinced that the spirit of the drowned woman was still haunting the waters, forever trapped in her final moments. Ghost Beach, located on a small island in California, earned its chilling name from a tragic story of a child's death in the late 1800s. In the summer of 1892, a young boy named Timothy was playing near the shoreline when a large wave swept him off his feet. Despite desperate attempts to rescue him, Timothy drowned in the powerful surf. Locals say that his grieving mother, still heartbroken after years of mourning, began hearing the child's cries. Every night, her haunting wails echoed along the shore, heard by anyone who was brave enough to walk the beach at night. People who lived nearby said they saw the ghostly image of a woman on the sand, crying out in search of her son. One night, a group of campers decided to spend the night on Ghost Beach to see if the stories were true. As the hours passed, they heard a faint cry for help. The sound grew louder and more desperate, and they saw a figure moving across the beach. When they ran to help, the figure vanished, leaving only the echo of a mother's sorrowful cry. To this day, hikers and adventurers claim to hear the eerie sound of a child's cries carried by the wind at Ghost Beach, and some even claim to have seen the ghostly figure of the grieving mother walking the shoreline at night, searching for her lost child. On Driftwood Bay, an isolated beach in Oregon, stands an old lighthouse that has long been abandoned. The lighthouse was built in the early 1900s to guide ships through dangerous waters. However, after a tragic incident in the 1930s, the lighthouse was decommissioned and left to rot. The incident involved the death of the lighthouse keeper, who reportedly saw a strange ship in the distance, but despite the warning light, it crashed against the rocks, killing everyone on board. The keeper, devastated by the tragedy, was said to have gone mad, wandering the cliffs at night, his lantern shining eerily into the darkness. Locals claim that they can still hear the faint ringing of the lighthouse bell on stormy nights, accompanied by the sound of footsteps pacing the cliffs. In 1963, a couple visiting Driftwood Bay for a weekend getaway decided to explore the abandoned lighthouse. As they ascended the spiral staircase, they found the lantern room cold and empty. The door to the lantern chamber suddenly slammed shut, and the temperature dropped drastically. A low, mournful bell rang, and they could hear the faint, labored footsteps of someone climbing the stairs behind them. When they turned, no one was there. The couple fled the lighthouse, but they were not the only ones who experienced the terror of the haunted structure. Over the years, many have ventured to Driftwood Bay, only to leave with strange stories of ghostly apparitions and a terrifying presence that still lingers in the old lighthouse.